James and Justin here, your favorite spiritual analysts on all things culturally relevant. And today we're going to be looking at a motion poster video trailer for this movie called the Mahavatar Parshuraam, which is supposed to be, I guess, the 6th avatar of Vishnu. We'll take a look at this quick little video here and talk about it. Anyway, for some reason, that reminded me a lot of the God of War video game. I don't know if you've played that at all. But
I've seen clips of it. I've probably watched you play.
Like it reminds me of God of War for some reason. But anyway, the Indian culture, you guys don't hide it out there. You're like, when it comes to God, because I know in other religions, it's like they try to make it look more like it's about love and peace. And this is not hiding the blood nature thirstiness of God, found within this reality, right? Because Parashurama is supposed to be the 6th avatar of Vishnu. So this is God kind of like getting down into the affairs of man, and he wields an axe and covered in blood, and heads are getting chopping off and everything like that. So you guys don't hold back on it, which I guess I appreciate. I wish Christianity and other religions would be a little bit more upfront about kind of like the brutal nature of certain things, especially in the Old Testament. The Old Testament's filled with some wild stories. Yeah, and it has a capacity to like rile you up. At this current stage, the war drums aren't pounding for me right now. I remember like years ago, I think it was on like what's his name? Friggin' the boxer, Mike Tyson, was coming out of retirement, and I love it. Like, I'm not even about this, but I think Joe Rogan was like, he told me the war gods are calling to him. Like the gods of battle are calling to him, or he hears the drums of war. Because Mike Tyson prior to that was like smoking weed, had a weed thing. It was all about like, you got to get rid of the ego, You're just taking DMT.
Yeah, and he was like, you got to get rid of the ego, Joe. And then when he was like coming out of retirement, like the war drums were pounding. And he was becoming that way again. And there's things that can do that. Like I recently deleted TikTok because it was making the war drums pound. You know what I mean? Like maybe I got to hit the gym harder and get into that mode. And then the way to offset that drive, I just made some brutal art. You know what I mean? To express it out. And then now I'm sort of trying to orient to peace again. But I don't know what it's like to have the war drums pounding, you know what I mean? Because right now things are peaceful. But in life, if there was like, your country was under attack or you were being under attack, you might hear that you might be all of a sudden...
You might need to call upon Parashurama.
Yeah, you might be being pulled into a war thing. But I'm saying, is there a choice there?
No.
Can you choose a gentler God? Is that choice there? What do you feel inclined to be pulled towards? Are you still in a stage where that's appealing, like you said, bloodlust, or are you in a state where you're being drawn towards peace and drawn towards a more peaceful way of being?
Yeah. And how much of this story from what you guys see, because there's a lot of these movies coming out lately I've seen, and not just within Indian history, but also there's Christian videos. I saw a trailer this morning for Moses when I was thinking about things to react to. And I noticed that these movies, they sometimes change and alter the story. How do you guys feel about all this? Is everyone on the same page in India? Should movies like this even be being made? Is it offensive or is it cool? Does it give you a window into a world that you wish you could see? And how much of it is accurate? I bet you any money there's people fighting over how accurate this stuff is. Do you remember when what was that Christian Bale version of the Ten Commandments came out?
Yeah, I remember that.
I was a Christian at that time, and I hated that movie because like it took the whole story of the Ten Commandments and demystified it.
Yeah.
It made it seem as if it was like all natural occurrences within environment.
It was like a head injury. You got bonked in the head or something.
Yeah. I was like, this sucked. It took all the wow out of everything. But this looks kind of interesting. Also, kind of reminded me of the 300, the way that it was doing its thing.
Yeah. But it's funny. You can jazz yourself up for something like, you know. I'm the worst of the bunch, so don't nobody feel lame about this. You know, my spouse is always like, "Oh God, you got to watch what you watch," because I watch something and I'm that thing for the day. I'm cringe. I'm lame. I'm a cornball. But when Fast and Furious came out, that's dating me how old I am. I remember like the car I went in was like a kind of like a fast car, and then when we left, it seemed like the cars were like peeling out of the drive. You know what I mean? Like people all of a sudden everybody wants to be a street racer. So when you're consuming things that are war related, or if you're just watching political debates all the time or something, you're tuning yourself
more aggressive by the second
to that stuff. And people know this. This isn't anything like people already know how to like mitigate their mental health, and you know. And oftentimes it's when you've had a bout of peace that you're like, let me check in with the world of chaos. But it'll get its hooks in you, and next thing you know, you're identifying with the brutality.
You're on the battlefield, and you're like, how'd I get here?
Yeah, shit! All because I watched a movie, man. You know what I mean? So just count the cost of that. Like even your cortisol levels. Like I don't even maybe know what cortisol is, but watch your stress.
That's like
levels.
a real thing. They say like after like they release war movies in the United States, like recruitment goes up.
I heard that even movies that were made to depict war is bad, recruitment levels go up.
There you go.
So, you know, I don't know, take that for what you will. There's some guy out there that's like, hey man, I'm in the military. Like, yeah, and go with peace. Like, you know, sometimes you see people that are vets and they're on the side of let's not go into a new war, even if they are standing guard for the country.
Yeah.
Some of them are like, I've seen war, it's horrible. You know what I mean? And I don't want to go back to it. And then, you know, the mightiest of warriors out there has probably seen a bunch of stuff, but don't assume you're this. There's some Genghis Khan type, or Genghis Han, or however you say it correctly out there, that's like lives a whole life of brutality.
Yeah.
But know thyself. Know what you're really about. And don't feel compelled just because something's pop culture. If you're leaning towards peace, go investigate that and stoke that fire if you feel like it.
All right, well, a lot said. Are you guys going to go check it out? Let us know in the comments what you think, about the trailer, what we had to say. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everyone till next time.
Stay spiritual.